I don't believe anybody in the apocalyptic world would be like, you know what, these cables are ugly, let's stick them into a wall. No, they're going to be worried about, oh my goodness, let's get the power up so our electrical fences actually kill the zombies. It's kind of, you know, priorities. Priorities. What's up, people? I'm Xogue, back on All the Mods 3, and I look so friggin' goofy. Okay. But anyway, let's just go ahead and kind of recap some of the stuff I've done. None of you are going, okay, got it. Yeah, so, go. Quite possibly the coolest thing that we have that I got recently. Hold on, I gotta be careful. I gotta be super careful. Here we go. Guardian. We have Guardian spawners. That's kind of a thing. Also, this flying squid thing that I got last time is really cool. I friggin' love it. It's really, really, really great. We'll get into that later. But there's another thing that I have that is absolutely amazing, and that is we have an Elder Guardian spawner. I didn't even know they made these, but apparently in this mod pack they exist, and I grabbed one. But they are going to be such a pain to farm because of the fact they give you mining fatigue when they pop out. Not always, not every time, but if we have that spawner there going, then it's going to be sometimes. It's just going to happen. So that might be the only mob we farm from a distance, meaning I have to turn it into a different kind of spawner in order to allow it to operate when I'm out of range of the guy. But anyway, moving on. My gear has gotten an upgrade. If we take a look, these other first ones you've seen, Speedy, Mending Moss, all that. Well, I did put redstone on them. I'm not sure if you saw that, but I did that. And it's not like amazing, but it's pretty cool. We're still moving pretty quick. But I did go ahead and emboss these with Aqua Speed, which means we also get Rough, which is kind of weird. I didn't know you got both, but it's pretty cool. Which damages attackers on contact based on durability, which really isn't going to affect anything. Rough damage when at full durability is 0. And these guys repair themselves thanks to the Mending Moss. So we're probably never going to see an increased damage to anything. But that's okay. Also, they store XP. I'm assuming this means that any slight damage to the armor can be healed by the stored XP before the durability actually starts going down. And I'm not exactly sure how it works with giving us levels and doing that. Maybe it splits the XP or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But it happens. It's a thing. The next thing is that my flight ability depends on these, which means if I am too far away, these guys will not work. They will not be loaded, which means I don't get it. And I actually died from height when I went too far away and didn't realize that. I didn't think of that ahead of time. So I went in to look at chunk loaders so we could keep them loaded all the time and actually let us fly anywhere. And I realized that this is yet another mod pack that I found that does not agree with my assessment that chunk loading should be free. This guy is utterly ridiculous and expensive. It's just pretty stupid just how expensive these things are. It is ridiculous. So I decided to just say screw them because I completely... Look, okay. The game is designed to unload chunks for one purpose. Your game or your computer will explode if they don't. But it's meant to be played as if everything important is loaded at one time. There's no reason to make it cost to chunk load things. There isn't. So, if you're playing this mod pack, there is a way to do it. If I can remember exactly how I did. Yeah, over here. You have claimed chunks. If you click on this, you can actually go in here. Let's zoom. Can we zoom in? I don't think there's actually a zoom in thing. But right here, you can kind of see where I was, where my little 4 water mills are. If you claim it by clicking on it, and then you shift click, it will chunk load that area. And that's how I've done it. That's how I am going to chunk load. I do not agree with having to pay for chunk loading. I think it's the dumbest thing any mod's ever done, excluding a couple really stupid other things that I'm not going to mention right now. So a little while ago, I told you guys that we were going to do a generator, or a power plant. That's what I meant to say. Which is good, and I want to do that today, but there's a couple things I want to go over first. There's a lot of different ways to power stuff. These guys are loud, which kind of fits in with a power plant. Power plant, that's like a tongue twister, man. Gee, say that like 15 times fast. Power plant. They are kind of loud. They're not quiet things, okay? Woohoo! Break the glass. And So it kind of makes sense that it would make noise. Generators make noise in this mod pack. You have, I don't know, kind of a bunch of stuff that makes noise, especially the things that make power. So it's really cool. But aside from that, I also told you guys we had a theme, which I haven't really touched on too much. And the main reason for that is this: I wanted to get kind of set up with things first. And what I mean is, we needed armor, we needed weapons, we needed tools. I still want to get flight. I would much rather have a better flight than one that I can actually crash to the ground and hurt my legs on. But it's okay. I mean, it's satisfactory right now. It's acceptable. So we can start doing a little bit of design work, and now we can start doing a little more of that theme. Now, the theme itself is a zombie apocalypse. For those of you who haven't watched the other things, and there's been an edit to it by somebody who actually commented, and he said, why not have it like a meteor strike, like something came down from the world, from the outer world, that caused this virus and caused things to turn into whatever they are. So it's not specifically a zombie outbreak as much as it is just, like a lot of the movies describe it. It's just some kind of a widespread virus that destroyed the world. And, we have these, I don't really see one right here. I was going to say that, but that's just an oil thing. But you have like these meteors, right? You have these crash sites where meteors have crash landed into the world. And it just really makes sense. There's a good one. So it's kind of interesting that those meteors, maybe they brought something with them. Maybe they brought something that really just wreaked havoc. And somehow we were the only person. Maybe we were off world and the virus died out before we got back or something. I don't know. But for some reason, we're the only person who survived. For whatever reason, we'll just go with that. Well, I guess we might have villages, so we can kind of explain that away. And we found like survivor camps or something. We can make a couple of those as well, which would be kind of cool for the story. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. But that idea, that concept, revolves around a zombie apocalypse. If you're in a zombie apocalypse, you're not going to have a pretty base. Your base is going to be a little worn down. It's going to be a little funky looking. And it's going to be composed of mainly scraps, what you can find in the world, like these buildings are. So we kind of want to start designing things around that. But aside from that, which means this base is going to have to change. I'm not going to do any more chisels and bits work to this. I'm going to leave it as it is now until I come up with an idea for it. But we'll just kind of have to change it over once I do. But I do have an idea, okay? And we're gonna stretch the imagination a little bit. We're going to say that we have, and this is probably where... This is the kind of thing I was actually looking for when I initially started to try to find someplace to settle down, was an island that stood completely by itself. And by the time I got to that area, right down over here, this other stuff wasn't explored yet. I hadn't found this yet. And I got to this point and I was done. I was done exploring. I was like, you know what? This is the best I'm going to find. I'm betting there's not going to be anything better. And then lo and behold, after I settled here enough, I found that, which is kind of interesting. But now that I do that, it's okay, because this island over here, are we on? Yeah, we're on the island now. I want to turn this into like the sanctuary, right? If there was some kind of a viral outbreak or something along those lines, yeah, build it. Hey, what's up, haunted guy? Go away. If there was some kind of an outbreak or something, then being surrounded on all sides by water is a logical path to take. It doesn't mean you're going to be safe, but it's probably as close to safe as you're going to get. And in this world, we're going to say it made them safe. So we're going to have some villagers and stuff over here. We're going to decorate this place as if the world hadn't ended. We're going to make the buildings look nice. We're going to restore them. We're going to change them a little bit. Just kind of make things look good. And this is going to be the sanctuary. This is going to be the haven where everybody runs to. We'll send out broadcasts from here, make broadcasts out. I don't know. I got some grandiose plans. I'm telling you. This is going to be pretty cool as long as I can keep to the theme and everything. So you guys got to keep me on it. Make sure I am actually sticking to the theme. You see me not doing something with the theme, then, be like, hey, that doesn't fit the theme. Just call me out on it. This is that point where you kind of take a step back and you try to figure out exactly what you want to do. And that's kind of the issue I'm having at the moment. I'm trying to think, because if this is kind of some stairway, okay? This whole designing things for an apocalyptic world is going to be bothersome for me. Maybe not bothersome, just troublesome. Because it's going to be hard for me to break away from the symmetry, to break away from the clean lines that I normally do. So this is definitely going to expand my horizons a lot. But this is just the initial idea that I came up with. I was like, yeah, man, those cool little stairs would be pretty awesome. But then I was like, no, it's too regular. It's not right. So we'd have to like break it up a little bit if we even wanted to try and do this, you know, and just kind of remove some blocks here and there. So that way it actually looked like it was, I don't know, destroyed or abandoned a little bit. And we do that to all sides and maybe we can use it, but I don't know if I want to now. That's an idea that I had for this, perhaps, is to have the floors open like that. Just have a wide open thing. So down here, this would all be flat on the bottom floor and it would go all the way. It would extend into this building here. And we could have, I don't know, whatever kind of bottom level water generators, like water wheels and stuff from Immersive Engineering. They have some of those. Find a way to make those work, or legitimate water generators. Even the thermoelectric ones we could put down here because they do need water, kind of. They need a cold substance, which will probably end up changing out for ice or maybe even cryo something. I don't know. It's really cold. But you get the idea. Just kind of organize things in a way that the water power generation could be on the bottom floor. And as we go higher, we get closer and closer to the ones that would need to be higher in the air, like our wind generators over here. And then the floors in the middle, however many we decide to have, could be, I don't know, other decoration. We could put other stuff inside of it or something. I don't know. So I'm just kind of playing with it. I think the first step, though, is that I don't want light gray terracotta to be anything. And the sad part is this whole building is made out of light gray terracotta. So I'm going to have to tear down the entire building. The bad news, that's a lot of blocks. The good news, I do have vein miner. Also, check this out. I really like the far reach because you can go really far with this thing. Holy crap, man. You can't reach that. I think that's probably about as far as you could go with regular reach. So the far reach thing that I have on, I think it was the chest plate that I did, the telekinetic right there that you see in the tooltip. Telekinetic is the far reach glove put onto the chest plate. And it allows you to dig 3 blocks further, apparently, which is really, really cool. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Pretty neat. When did this game get eclipses? When was that a thing? I can't sleep right now. It's an eclipse. Holy crap-o. So now we have a gigantic hole. This is, well, pretty much what we were looking for. I did chop all of this other stuff down. You see right here we are at sea level, which is kind of what I was looking for. It gives us a wide open area to put a lot of the water. I don't even know how many water type power generators there are, but however many, we're going to find ways to put them in here. And then over here you have, you know, like I guess it'll be a basement, right? So the thing is, this is going to be the ground floor of the building that we're working in right now, of this building we're going to try to make. Right, so underneath this is going to be the basement. I think 3 high is good, but I might dig down 1. Make every floor 4 high. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it'd be there. And then 1, whoop, oh, ow, legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so then our last floor would actually be above this. I don't know if I like that. Maybe the basement will stay 3, but the others will stay 4. And that way, the final bit will actually be even with this. I think that's what we're probably going to do. Because the basement is kind of a basement. Well, hold on. I already was talking about digging down. I could... No, because then I have to lower that. No, one of these floors is going to have to be 3. I don't know. We'll work it out. But the bottom line right now is just that... I said vein mine thing. Vein miner is amazing. I like vein miner. It also happens to help me eat a lot faster, because that's what vein miner does. If you're not aware, it mines a lot of the blocks, but it actually does cost a little bit of saturation and hunger. So it actually helps you eat more if you're trying to, you know, say get a bunch of nutrition up so you get an extra health bar. Kind of a good situation. Okay, it also needs to look a little run down, because remember, this is a post-apocalyptic world. So we're looking for something that looks a little bit ragged. What about braid? What does braid look like? I'm thinking this might be a decent floor. Yeah, see, that's not too... It actually does look... If we put a decent amount here, it might not be the best bet. It might, no, it does kind of look a little bit dirty. It almost looks like the floor is supposed to be white or at least a brighter color, but it's been walked on a lot, so now it's darkened. It kind of looks like that-ish. I think that would work okay. We also need like a wall. I got way too many of those for testing. I need to just start chiseling only just a couple of things. Just a few, like 5, 10, something. Yeah, we'll do 10. All right, so now we need the walls too. We are going to put some color into there for sure, but it's not going to be a lot. And it'll probably be, I'm thinking maybe even white, but these don't join up. I want something that'll actually, maybe these guys. I'm using these in another series as like a wall, which isn't a bad wall. That's okay. So if we had that kind of a build the whole way, I think that would be okay. I don't know. You just got to play with some stuff. I'm going to look around a little bit more. We want to basically find what the basic structure is going to be made out of at the moment. But once we find it, we need to build the structure that we're going to use to actually, do things. So we're going to need the frame, and we're basically just going to go basic frame. Power plant is designed to be functional. It's not designed to be pretty. So it's got to be a standard shape, just a regular old square. We're going to have a trim around the top as well. And then we'll have the floors. I need to work out exactly where everything's going before I start laying down too many blocks. But you kind of get the idea. This is going to be framed all the way around. And this one and that wall and even this side will be framed properly all the way up to here. Once we get the standard shape that we want, we can actually start breaking things down in certain places and just say like, oh, well, wear and tear kind of chopped out a couple of bits. And maybe even the floor up top, if we could do it, like, let's see. Let's say that the last floor is going to be here, like I'm trying to do. Instead of having the standard squared off building, hold on, let's see if I can actually get a little bit of this here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, boom, 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 boom. Instead of the floor being standard shaped, is that enough? That might be enough. With, the corner piece, maybe a window or two, probably not windows actually, maybe like a fence or something. But instead, we're going to pretend like, oh, something rusted through or something fell apart. And instead of this whole corner is instead kind of like part of the floor fell down or something, and that corner's missing, and that corner will be missing out of all of the floors all the way down the building. Maybe a little bit of a different shape, but basic concept. And that way the building looks run down. It won't even have a wall, I'm thinking, at least not on this portion. This portion is going to be left open, and we can add a lot of the finer details later once we get everything sorted. But for now, I just need to get that basic structure. And after that, we can worry about a lot of the detail, because a lot of those detail ideas are not going to come in until you have a visual to work with. And right now, I don't know exactly what this building is going to look like by the time it's fully shaped out. So I went a little bigger than I thought I was going to. Yeah, we're kind of at an impasse, all right? We're kind of in a bit of a pickle. Ironically, I am watching one of Iskal's VODs, and he's doing a gigantic pickle prank, so it's kind of interesting that I use that turn of phrase, but I guess it had to come from somewhere. Anyway, so we have an issue, and that issue is that most power plants, most machine buildings like this are all closed off. They have solid walls all the way around. They hardly ever have windows. It's just a completely enclosed area. For whatever reason, but I don't want that for this. So we have the problem of making it look like it's a factory-ish type deal while still having it be open, because I like the open feel. I think almost all of our buildings are going to be open, and obviously I still need to destroy a portion of this to make it look like it's run down or this or that, but that's after. I'm not worried about that yet. We're going to make the building and then we're going to run it down. For each layer, each window slot, maybe not down here. Maybe this layer right here will be mostly closed off to some degree. And then the broken open corner of this thing will be, the only visible spot. So, that's the only place you can actually look inside of it. But as far as these more visible areas, I kind of want to do something like this. And then there's that one, and we'll skip that one too. Okay, so it's kind of Yeah. See, that's not too bad. And it even has like the teeth thing going, so it's alternating, which gives us the open feel. It does already kind of start that look like it might be a little run down. It adds a little bit of color into it, and it leaves it open so we can kind of look at stuff. Now, I think once we actually get a lot of this stuff put in, it's going to start to be too much orange and too much a lot of stuff, really. Yeah, so I did have the orange down here as well. I started taking it down because, as you can tell, there's quite a bit of orange. That's a bit too much, I think. So we're gonna take this down. I think we are gonna end up using this block. Maybe not quite that much, but we can always rechisel it into something else, which is probably what we're gonna end up doing. I just need to find what that's going to be, and it's gonna be used in other areas because, okay, the survivors, or me in this case, we could realistically find some kind of caution stripes or caution tape, right? So we can use this as caution tape for, I don't know, like a pile of junk that we found. You know, if we're trying to clear this building out, we're going to have like junk piles. So we'll put caution tape around it. So people are like, hey, man, just, avoid this area. There's got some dangerous stuff over here. Don't mess with it. So on and so forth. So we can do it for that kind of thing, and that way we still get the color, the orange color, but not so much of it. See, that's a lot better. And in case you haven't noticed, this is like the perfect perch, just to kind of check out what we've done so far. I just have to aim enough away from those waypoints to actually clear that, but you can see it pretty well. So this top layer right here, I've done a little bit of extra work, mixing some things up in here. And I think this is what we're going to do to the bottom layers. I don't think we're going to do anything to the top. I think the top is different. But these bottom layers, you can see the blocks kind of look run down. They look like they would belong in a factory. The fans, because we're in an apocalyptic world, there's no power at the moment, not legitimate power. We have our stuff, but we're not going to worry about turning on some fans. But they're all broken. They're all still fans. They're all broken, so they're not going to be working. There are blocks, I don't know, I might put one or two like right around some of the more functional things like the windmills and stuff, to give the appearance that, hey, maybe this section of the building does have power. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. It looks a little bit wonky, like it doesn't completely fit in, but I think overall it's pretty good. And it does still lend itself to the idea that things are wearing down. Because this is what it was supposed to look like when it was alive and together. But it needs to be crumbled and it needs to be oldified. That's what I'm going to call it. Oldified. That's a new word. Write it down. So, yeah, I'm going to get going on that, just kind of doing some of this stuff. We're going to see what we get to. I don't know. I'm kind of liking it so far, but hopefully we can pull things together a little bit more and actually make it a little bit more legit. So now we're down to the fun part. We get to destroy this thing. Not really destroy, not the whole thing. Just bits. And the reason I kind of do it this way is because if you get the full image of what you want the thing to look like when it's complete, then it's easier to determine how it would be if it's torn down. So now that we've designed how we would want it if it weren't destroyed, we're going to destroy it. We're going to break it apart. We're going to break a few of these pieces, and it's got to be random looking too. There's no stable anything about this. Like maybe some more of those guys were gone. Yeah, sure, those blocks too. You know, accidents happen, but it's pretty good. It makes it look pretty all right. And what I could do, if I'd thought about it, is I could actually use the exact same number of blocks that I mine out of here as a little pile down over here in the corner. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to recreate this, actually. I'm going to put this back. I'm really hoping this is not one of those builds that I think looks awesome, and you guys are going to be like, what in the world? But, yeah, so we got these things in here. This building is now pretty much falling apart. You got some of the little breaks here. Let me land so I can heal. Or the little blue bar at the bottom, so that can fill back up. We got some medium breaks. We got some gigantic breaks. Two of which make it look like the building might be falling down soon. But at the moment it's not. It seems pretty sturdy to me. Thank you, Minecraft. And yeah, I think it's okay. We got some vines to make sure it looks like it's kind of been old and been sitting for a little while, which kind of fits with the rest of the theme. And you can see the vines are starting to grow. At some point, I'm going to start putting string around, just stop them from spreading so much, because this building is being used. Remember, it might be broken down. It may have been abandoned at one point in time, but we've taken it over for our power needs. So we're going to be putting stuff inside of this thing, which means it's being used. That means the vines can't really obstruct any entrances or exits, which I didn't even put into this thing. This thing does not have an entrance or an exit at the moment, but we can work on that later too. Probably just like maybe the entrances were broken, and I'll put some breaks in the wall somewhere so we can kind of do that. That way we don't have to worry about actual doors. But yeah, so I think it's going to be okay. It's going to look pretty good. I want to put some more vines down at the bottom. My shears broke, so I just got to kind of get that going. I also want to put in a wall here, here, and here. I want those three to be actual walls since they're technically underground. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I think it is okay. We're going to be just fine. So I just need to move in the power stuff, kind of keep up with the vine growing a little bit. And once we have enough string in place, it'll stop. It'll look good, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. But that's pretty much where I'm at. I just got to let it grow for a little while. Good. We now should have enough to make 2 power cells. Good deal. And then I'll need 2 cards. These guys. 1. I think we need 2. Maybe we only need 1. I think we might only need 1. I'm going to have to test this out. I'm not entirely sure, to tell you the truth. I guess we're going to break out our power, and we're just going to play with it. We have enough supplies to actually get things going. So we should, I'm going to get a second card just in case, because we will eventually use it. I just don't think I need it yet. I don't believe I need it yet. And I'll show you why in a minute. But I need to get rid of all of my generation stuff here. All of these things need to be gone. So that way we know we have no power coming into this thing. And we can watch something is going to drain. I think it's this guy right here. Not drain yet. I know it's being used. Something is being used. And possibly storing power in it. I don't know what that would be, though. But sooner or later, this is going to run out of power because this refined storage stuff does take power. But for whatever reason, it's it's not taking power right now. We're using 11 FE per tick. What is losing power? Something has got to be. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't need to dredge and kind of linger on this, but we're going to try. And here in a minute, I'm going to do this. Store all the power. There's our thing. So now, the way we do that, yep, I just right-clicked. Okay, so there's that. Give me this. So now, link ID 1. So I think that will save this. Link a power card to card on. Oh, I do need 2, actually. This is link ID 1. So if I do this, now this one is also link ID 1. I take it out, and I can move it over to our power generation area, which is going to be, the first one's going to be up top. All right, let's give this a shot. We have our conduits and everything hooked up. We got our windmill, wind generators over here. Bam. Okay. Oh wait, I have to mark this as input, don't I? Okay. Oh, set all sides to accept energy. Bam. Okay, now this is accepting energy. You see it growing there, and it stores quite a bit too. What is that? 2 million RF it stores, which is really, really good. But if we go down here, this side over here should be outputting energy now. And we should be good to go, I believe. So, yes, there we go. I was a little scared because I didn't see anything. And I wasn't looking at the tooltip. I know the tooltip probably said it too. But yeah, I was a little worried. So now, if I break this, it's still linked, actually. It has that stuff in there, and the card is still linked into it. So if I go and hook this up now. Oh, whoa, the auto run crapo. My mouse just kind of did some weird stuff. So now, if I do out, and you see it just kind of glitched down because it filled up the rest of the machines that are over here. So now we are getting power from our wind turbines way over there, and it's being sent over here. But I do need to make sure this stuff looks like it's not professionally set up and instead set up by a bunch of survivors. So kind of randomly placed, somewhat organized and grouped together, but not really, properly routed through walls or anything. Like the cables are going to be showing a little bit and stuff like that, because that's just how it would happen. I don't believe anybody in the apocalyptic world would be like, you know what, these cables are ugly, let's stick them into a wall. No, they're going to be worried about, oh my goodness, let's get the power up so our electrical fences actually kill the zombies. It's kind of, priorities. So, yeah. I'm loving this building. I think it's really good, but feel free to let me know what you think. What else can I do to make it look better, if there is anything that you think of? Feel free to let me know in the comments. And, yeah, this is really cool. I'm proud of myself for this one. Expanding Horizons, definitely. My design skills are growing, I think. Until you guys tell me it sucks terribly, and then I'm going to, like, go around and mope all day long. But anyway, if you liked the video, please do hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Do what you do, and I will see you next time. Peace out, peeps!